Hey friends, welcome to episode number 1 of The Seller's Edge, the show where you get to go behind the scenes and see what it takes to create premium photography which allows your home to stand out when you are looking to place it up for sale. This is going to be the home that we are working on today. It's a nice two-story home on land in Rochester Hills, right where it meets up to Lake Orion here in Michigan. And let's go ahead and take a quick tour through the before photos, the photos that we're going to be working on today. So here is our entryway, and here we are proceeding into the living room. Now, as we move through this set, this is the set that the camera believes, the before photos, the ones that the camera believes are ideally exposed. My guess is that as you look at these images, you would agree that these probably would not be how you want the photos of your home to look if you were placing it up for sale today. That's just my guess. Probably because they do look a little bit shadowy, a little bit dark, a little bit dreary. They don't have the snap and pop that you would prefer that your house looked like when people are looking at it online. That's just my guess. So again, it always goes to prove the point that the photos that the camera thinks, just because you have a expensive fancy camera, are not exactly going to come out the way you want them to be. So we're going to go ahead and start getting them the way that you would want them to be. So let's go ahead and see, which one do I want to start with today? Which one do I want to start with? I think we're going to, let's see, should we start upstairs? Should we start upstairs today? I think no. I think we'll just, that's actually where I ended up shooting first. I shot this one from the top down, but I think we'll start right here at the front door, the entryway shot, as it were. This is actually going to be the shot that I use to show that we're going upstairs, right, from the first floor to the second, to communicate that idea as you progress through the set. Again, this is the before photo, and this is going to be the all-natural light version of the photo. This is and this is going to be the flash version that we're going to be using today. So natural light, flash. I actually pre-adjusted these ones to get us off to a little bit of a faster start. So let's go ahead. I'll move these to Photoshop, and then we will, while they're loading up, go ahead and start working on the living room shot. And here in the living room, we have, you can kind of see here what we're dealing with. We have a hot spot in the television. We have shadowy areas over here, shadowy areas over here. The windows are okay. And then this whatever we have going up here is, I don't know, it's just less than ideal. I guess it's not something to get truly upset over, but we'll go ahead and start adjusting that a little bit here, like this. I think that maybe like 8 is going to be ideal for the ambient version of that shot. And then this is going to be the flash version right here. So there's a flash version of the shot. That right there looks, no, how about this one? Let's go flash X, flash 10. I like that one best. And of course, there's a flash right here illuminating this whole space, and then it put this stupid flash dagger up in the ceiling, so I'll have to correct that. We'll plan ahead for that. And the what do you call it? The reflection. It's not as bad as in the first one, but it's still there. So we're going to have to plan to correct for that as well. All right, so we've got our pre-prep work done on that particular image. So let's go ahead and move over to Photoshop and blend this one now that it's ready to go. I think you can see the color on this one is a little bit off. If we just zoom out a bit, it just, color's not exactly what I'd want it to be. So we're going to ignore the color completely and just use the color from the flash version of this image. And that right there looks about ideal. That's what I'm thinking. Right about there. I think there's just out here, you can see, there's just pine trees out there. So we're going to want that to be a little bit more white and a little bit less see-through, since the pine trees are not really helping. So let's go ahead and use this frame right here, a copy of it, and we will blend in a little bit more brightness in the windows, just to kind of even it up a bit and make those pine trees less noticeable. All right, so that version, this is merged up exactly how we want. Save it back to Lightroom, and we'll go ahead and let's see. We need to straighten it since it's not 100% straight. There we go. That's much better. So if we go right here, we can see the before version, right? So this is the before version of the image, and this is the after. Here is our before, and again, here is the after version. So let's go ahead and move both of those, and we'll jump back over here. These are prepped, ready to go. Let's send them over to Photoshop, and while they are loading up, we will go ahead and work on another. So let's see here. We'll set these to 1, and this is going to be, this is the before of this. It's the same room shot from a different angle. Here's the before shot. So that is what we're going to be trying to do better than. And this is our all natural light version of this image. And you can see around the windows, we've got a lot of haze, window bloom as it were. That's the main problem we have here. And then of course this space back here is a little bit dark, as is the shadowy section over here. So let's see how much of that we can get rid of just in this version of the image itself. That's a little bit. Let's go 4. Boost it to 4. And then we're going to try to dehaze these windows a bit. We're going to go ahead and pull down the highlights and move the dehaze. That actually worked pretty good. Maybe we need to move it right like there, and I think that we'll duplicate it. Duplicate it, since that worked really well for the one window, it's probably going to work really well for other windows. And so there and there, and then we're going to do that again. We're going to go ahead and duplicate it again, and then put it over this window right here. So that's about as good as we're going to get with windows. So we'll go down here, brighten up this section by boosting up your shadows, since that was the shadowy spot of this particular image. And then let's see, this is our flash version of the photo. This is our flash version. And what we're going to do here is leave it just like that. Let's zoom out, because you can probably see that there's like a half circle of darkness, an oval right there, that we will go ahead and boost up a little bit. And when I was on site, when I was planning things ahead a little bit, just a little bit, we were going to go ahead and decide to not add flash into this section right here. So it's certainly darker than in the ambient version of this same photo. So if we look at the ambient version, it ends up actually being right about the same. So maybe a little bit brighter, but we're going to go ahead and bring that level up even more, like this, in order to get that right how we want once it blends. Okay, so this section is ready to go. We're going to go ahead and move over to Photoshop, finish up this version of the living room. So we'll go ahead and blend it, do our general blend first, and that's probably right about perfect. We still have a little bit of this flash dagger going on up here, and then of course this problem area right here. But other than that, this looks pretty good. Yes, it does. So let's see, can we use? I can definitely use this main ceiling here. We could use the main ceiling, the all ambient ceiling. It does have this a bit of a ripple effect going, but it is what it is. That's because of the blinds. That's how it's really going to look if you end up moving in and putting the blinds down. The blinds are going to be, just because of their shape, they'll end up putting a little bit of texture into your ceiling, luminosity texture, not actual texture. And so let's go ahead and go like this. And we'll use this layer right here and just do the ceiling from it. So that's a little bit bright, I think. So if we go like this, we can pretty much get rid of a lot of that. Again, if we look here, I think we're also going to want to address this issue over here. Namely, look at this. See this right here? See how there's a little bit of an extra shadow? Or technically it's extra light over here. So what we'll be doing instead is we'll use this, switch it to luminosity mode so it's not pulling any color, blank it out like that with our mask, and then we will fade it in. We will fade it in just like this in order to get that a little bit more balanced. That looks more natural, and I like that better. Okay, so that leaves the spot on the ceiling that we need to fix, and this. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We'll merge all these together since it's pretty much done except for those two things, and we will go ahead and fix the ceiling portion right here. Let's just go ahead and select it. That didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but that's alright because we can go like this. Just keep going like that until it realizes we don't want any of that. We don't want to put the molding in there. It really wants to for some reason, but now it's done. Alright, so that's good. Let's go ahead and merge that up, and then we'll work on the TV. And that's going to be, we'll just go ahead and select it like this. Boom, 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 boom. And then we will use our gradient tool. I don't like that gradient. I do not like that gradient. Let's pick the colors. This color, yeah, that color, and let's go with black for our other end of the gradient. And right like that. That's way better. Okay. And then we'll set it to, since it's a little bit much, we want a little bit of that to show through just like that so it has more of a natural feel. So there you go. That one's done. Merge it, save it, on to the next. So let's see, we probably want to straighten it up. It was pretty, that right there is right what I want it to look like. Perfect. So let's go ahead and check out the before and after. So this is the before version of this image right here. This is what the camera thought was great, and here's the after. Here's the before, and here is the after. Okay, super. So let's go ahead and move those up. And since this version is already ready to go, again, move it to Photoshop and we'll start prepping up the next set in the series. So that one gets set to, let's see, 0. And this is the before version of this one. That's really quite dark. I don't know why the camera thought that was ideal, but that's too much. Let's go ahead and start adjusting, and I think we can see the problem areas are going to be the window is too bright and this whole section over here is too dark. And this over here is a little bit hazy. And this up here has color cast in it. So all kinds of images with this all natural light version of this photo. So let's go ahead and do the best we can. We will knock down the highlights around the window to try to knock that down a little bit. And then we'll use this guy over here in order to try and dehaze the left side of the frame. I don't think it's going to work 100% because it's just so intense. And then we will use this over here to go ahead and open up our shadow areas on this side of the frame. That's much better. And where the color is concerned, we're just not going to use the color from this because it's just, I mean, the grass outside is so fresh and green, which puts yellow all over the place, into the ceiling, everything, yellow and green color casts. So we're just going to ignore the color from that one and use the color from this flash frame, because the flash frame always has the best color. So this is going to be great. I don't think we even need to do anything else with this. It's going to merge up just right. So we're going to leave this one here and work on this one. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and do a general blend as always. And right about here, I think that's going to be ideal. It's going to be probably perfect. Windows, little bit we need a little bit more window from the flash layer. So yeah, we definitely want more window from the flash layer. So let's adjust that just a bit, like so. Like that. Okay, that's better. So there we go. This one's done. Not all of them are like pulling teeth. Every now and then you get one that just kind of blends up the right way you want it to the first try. Okay, so square it up, and let's go ahead and set it to 2 stars. And the before version of this is right here, and here is the after version, and here's the before, and here is the after version. So there we go. Now let's go move back. This one's ready to go to be merged. And let's go ahead and start working on prepping the next one. This is the before version of this same room, just a different angle. Sometimes I like to do that because the straight on, one of the perspectives doesn't do as well as I want it to do for the purposes. In this particular situation, it was because of this. This right here, the window. I wanted more window. And in the previous version, where we shot the room straight on, the window is minimized. So this version of the photo worked out a little bit better, I think. And here's our flash version of the image. Here is, we ended up with 2 of these. I think I want to use this version right here. We took 2 just in case. But yeah, let's double check this. Yep, did exactly. Let's go ahead and I'm going to send this one away because it's too bright. There's just no detail in the window. This one has hidden detail in the window, and we'll go ahead and boost it up. Now we're going to use the push and pull method, so we'll push the entire brightness level up by adding exposure, and that will destroy the windows, of course. And we'll go ahead and brighten up the right side of the frame a little bit more than the left side because it needs more help. And then we're going to, why did it do that? Are you kidding me? Let's try that again. So there you are. Brighten it up. Alright, perfect. And then we'll pull down all of the exposure, the highlights, and everything for this side. Around the window, we'll go ahead and dehaze it, like so. And now we just have weird color gradients. You may be seeing this up in this section right here. Color gradients going on down here. Again, this is why I never shoot all natural light. You never know what you're going to have. Never. You just you get into a situation and you think, oh yeah, this is going to be great. I'll be able to shoot this house all natural light, there's plenty of big windows, and then you run into situations like this, and you just can reconfirm to yourself, oh yeah, that's the reason why we always bring our flash with us. Okay, so that set's prepped. Let's go ahead and blend the previous set, like so. And again, we're going to ignore the color information from the ambient one because it was just too many color casts going on there. And then this is going to be perfect. I like this. Absolutely, I like this. Our issues we have here, a little shadow right there, and then up here. So we'll cure that by using some ambient. We can even take them and name them, right? Here's one. This is going to be C for ceiling, and this is going to be S for shadow. So again, luminosity mode only, so we're not using color info. And let's hide it, and then bring it back in slowly just in this section here in order to get rid of this silly shadow. So there we go. Alright. That is a more natural shadow, actually. That one was there from the window that's behind me. And then the ceiling, same kind of thing right here. If we use luminosity mode, you can see we have a nice, clean, white ceiling. And if we select it, we can bring it in right on top of everything else. So we don't need the wall. So let's say no here. Everything below these line is going to be no. You don't want that. Of course, it's going to do its own thing. Sometimes the software has a mind of its own, which drives me absolutely nuts, but it is what it is. I don't think it's going to change for me. So that took too much out. So now we got to add this section right back in. I guess I should have just done it this way, right from the beginning. And this part we don't need. Okay, so there we go. There's our ceiling. We'll go ahead and bring it in, and there you go. That's pretty much a perfect ceiling for our purposes. Okay, merge it up. Save it. Boom. Straighten our lines a bit. It's just like that. And let's see. This is going to be the before version. So that's the image before. Here it is after. Here's before. And this is the after version of that same image. Okay. So moving right along, let's go ahead and get this one sent over for blending, and then we'll start prepping up the next one. So these guys need to go there. This one is the before version of this photo. A little bit shadowy, a little bit bright on the windows, and this is the all natural light version that I'm going to use. The windows are even worse, but we'll go ahead and address that as much as we can. That's really the only thing we're going to be doing. So we're going to hit on that, hit on this section over here, and then this is a little bit shadowy under there and there. We'll adjust those. This will go ahead and buff out in the blend, as will this. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay, but yeah, Windows first. Bam. Select that, highlights down, and dehaze up a little bit. You can see there's just no detail in here. It's all pure white. It was all pure white. We're gonna have to get that all from the flash version of the frame only. If we had no flash, we'd be in trouble. So same thing. Highlights down, dehaze up a little bit. Just a little bit. There you go. Okay. And then under here, we need to bring our shadows up like so we can start seeing under the table. Same thing with this section here. We want to be able to see under the table a little bit more. Okay, so this one's prepped. Next one. So this is the flash version. What are our problems with the flash version? I can see it already. We have this whole ceiling is going to be unusable. We have this flash shadow right here. We're going to have to address that. A little bit of a flash reflection right there, but that's pretty much it with that. And then I also have this section here. I just lit this individually. I planned it ahead. I was like, you know what, we're just going to have to do that all by itself. So that's going to be going on top just to light that room. And of course, what do we see in here? That we're going to have to address the flash shadow. So there you go. Let's move over here to Photoshop and finish out this one. So bam and bam, and again, we won't be using any of the color information from the natural light version, only from this flash version, and that's about perfect right there. Once again, ceiling is going to be an issue. We can call this C for ceiling. So we are going to go ahead, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go like this. I learned from my mistake last time. It's not doing a very good job. It's not doing a very good job of auto selecting these ceilings today for whatever reason. It just doesn't like them. I don't know why. Bam, just like that. Switch to luminosity, and our ceiling is returned. So this is the blended ceiling, and this is the all ambient ceiling without the funky shadow. So I prefer that. And there we go. I think that looks great. So perfect. Merge it up, save it, and straighten it up just a bit, like so. And then we will take a look at the before version, which is right here. This is the before version, and then this is the after. Here is our before, and here is the after. Okay, so yeah, I think that's definitely better. Let's go ahead and jump back over here. These are prepped and ready to go. Let's go ahead and send them over. And let's see, these can be set to 0. Here is the before version of our straight-on shot of the window over the sink. My wife loves looking out the window, standing there at the sink, looking over the window, and her mother as well. So it doesn't look quite as inviting in this photo. This ambient version right here, we're already getting a little bit better, but for selling the house, not being able to see through the windows isn't exactly what we want. So let's go ahead and same kind of thing, adjust the windows, knock down the highlights a bit on the windows, and then over here, same kind of thing. Okay, perfect. And then let's go ahead and just bring our shadows up in this section down below just a bit, just a bit, like that. Okay. Why is it changing shape? Nobody said change shape. Okay, super. So that version is good. So here's our flash version, and what I noticed, you may see this. Take a look. There is some flash reflection right here. Flash reflection right there. So I took a second version of this shot right here, so that got rid of it. But the flash profile in the shot, since it's coming from over here, is all shadowy and stuff. So this is not a version of the photo that I would want to use. The first version is. I just want to repair the problem with the window with the second one. But let's go ahead and I think we don't need to do too much to this. This looks really good. So yeah, that's ready to go. Let's go ahead and jump over here and copy that, and we'll just turn this off for now. because I do need to move this flash up here. You know what, we'll deal with that later. So let's go ahead, we'll blend it right here. You can see right here in the flash version we've got way better exposure right in this section right here versus in the ambient version, which is all white. So guess which one version I'm going to be using right there in that section. Yeah, you get it. You got it. We're going to be using the flash version for that corner of the table. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of that, start blending them together, and then we'll adjust those problem areas as we need to. So right about there is pretty good. So let's copy this, and I'm actually going to go ahead and mask that in now down here to buff out a lot of that reflection, so that's better. And then same thing with these windows. That window right there, I prefer it to look like that. This is going to be called R for repair, and this is, no, we don't want to delete it. We want to copy it, and this is going to be C for ceiling. So this is going to be set to luminosity. Then we're going to hide it under a black mask, and then we're going to repair this little problem area we have right here. That is what we're going to do. We're going to repair this whole little area right here so that that shadow is not particularly noticeable. Okay, that's fine. And then what we'll do is we'll use this entire ceiling, which unfortunately you can see has color over here. It's not a pure white ceiling. Like usually our ambient ceilings are perfect in this particular situation and the lighting conditions on this particular day. We did not get pure white ceilings because of the color coming in out of the windows. So we're going to have to actually bleach out the ceiling. At least it selected it. At least it selected it. Thank you for the little blessings, and I don't have to do it manually. Okay, so that is our ceiling, and then we're going to bleach it white, like so. And we're also going to adjust the shadow profile, since the left side is a little bit not how we want it. Okay. I'm going to double copy this because this right here, we're going to go like this. We're going to fade it in. We're going to fade it in like so. It's a little bit strong. That's perfect. That's about perfect, except for one area. One area. Can you guess where that is? Correct. There's a flash shadow right there. And in just that section, I'm going to use this full strength version of the ceiling. And we'll go ahead and mask it, again, remask it out, and then bring it back in, just in this section over here though. And that brings it back. Okay, super. Last step is going to be what? You know what it's going to be. It's going to be this door right here. Boom, 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 boom. That is a little bit dark. That's a little bit dark, isn't it? So let's go ahead and turn this guy on, but to lighten mode only. So it is lightening up that section. Lighten. And it's a little bit intense, so let's just blend it in until it's right where we want it. Just like that. I think that's perfect. That's what it is without it. That's what it is with it. And the tiny bit of flash shadow that is there, I think we can just get rid of it pretty easy with the healing brush. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can. So, especially since it's not a primary member of the scene. Oh yeah, look at that. It's coming right out. Perfect. Okay. So, excellent. Merge it up. Oh wait, we had one other thing. I remember the flash reflection. So we're going to go like this, and isolate, C, and then we're going to grab this right here and just move it over. Like that. Okay, perfect. Merge, save, done. Okay. Now straighten it up. That looks good. I do want a little more exposure just in this section, like so. And that's perfect. I don't really want it to be warmer, though. It did warm it up by 7 points. So sometimes I like that, but not on this one. Okay, so let's move this to 2 stars and check it out. This is before and this is the after. So here is our before, and this one is the after version of that same photo. Okay, so moving right along, we have this prepped and ready to go. Let's send it over and then start working on the next one. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put that to 0 stars. This is our before version. This is our before version of this photo. Here's like the one photo, right, that has nearly balanced light. Like it's like you're like, wow, it's doing okay in that particular situation. Right. You just never know what you're going to get. So every now and then, the camera can kind of win the camera lottery or something, the exposure lottery. But you can't really, you don't want to just roll the dice and hope that the photos are going to turn out good. You want to know that they're going to turn out good. And so let's go ahead and go like this. Right here, this is a little bit bright in this section, but other than that, you might be able to see there's color cast going on here. All up in here, all up in here. These colors, these cabinets are all the same color. They are white. But the green is reflecting off that window that's to the left, the window that was over the kitchen. It's coming off of the grass, right, through the bottom of the window and coming up this way at that angle and hitting here and greening up the cabinets. And then the blue is coming down from the sky. It's coming down in the window, down from the sky, and it's bluing up the cabinets down here. So that's why we're seeing all of that the way it is. So green up here and then blue down here. So that's why, again, we're not going to be using the color from the ambient version. We'll be using the color from this version here. So it'll flash. And I did decide when I was there, I was like, I had a flash actually in here, right? I had one in here, right around here, pointed up this way, but there was a ceiling fan and it was just wrecking everything up, and it was just going to be a real battle. So I was like, you know what, I'll just use the ambient light version for that section right there. So you'll see that when we blend it. But right now, let's go ahead and flash 6 or flash 2. I think I just like the 2 version better. Yeah, I think I do. Alright, so that was ready. Let's go over to this right here, this version, and we'll start with the flash version of this, and we'll repair this section right like that. So that's good. And then that's ready to go. Let's go ahead and blend. Well, we'll set this to luminosity. Ignore color. Ignore color from the ambient photo because it's funky. And move this up like so. And there it is. It's perfect. I don't even have to do anything else. We don't even have to do a gradient. Look, it's like got a gradient in the television over there already by itself without me having to do anything, which is bizarre. That doesn't usually happen. So this whole thing is ready to go. And again, straighten it up a little bit. It doesn't need too much. Just like that, and then set it to 2, and let's go ahead and see what they look like. So again, here's the before, and here is the after. This is your before version, and then this is the after version of that same photo. Okay, we're like in a groove right now. We're moving along. Alright, so this one, where is it going? Photoshop, of course. And this one right here is, I actually didn't take a before and after of this. This is a one and done. This is one of my one and dones. This is a detailed shot. The plan of this shot is, the plan for the shot is to square it up and to have a square scene that sets mood, the idea of passage from one room to the other. This is, you can see, we used shallow depth of field to kind of cancel out this by making it more fuzzy, less in focus, and have this more in focus. So that was the plan with this shot here. Let's go ahead, and I'm just going to work this one straight since there's no before and after. So we'll close that out, and this was all natural light. It ended up being okay from this angle, but the left side of this is still a little bit intense. So let's go ahead and bring it down a bit. And then this section right here is not intense enough. And then the shelves, the shadowing in the shelves is just so much that it's kind of distracting. Like, it pulls your eye into the shadows of the shelves, when really what I want people kind of noticing is the chair and the flowers. So there we go. Now to achieve this effect, let's zoom out. You can already see this is just too much. I wouldn't want to use this composition because there's too much here and here. It's not doing it's not doing what I wanted it to do. So we're going to go ahead and crop this, and we're going to crop it to a 1-on-1 square and set it like, I think like that. I don't even think, yeah, right like there. Let's see what that looks like. Boom. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that's what we're going to use for this version of this photo. So this is kind of like a detail shot, an ambient shot, a mood shot, and then the only thing that I really want to do is bring up exposure right there. So there we go. This one is already done, so we can set him to 5 stars. He's 100% done. And then this one is going to go to 0. Alright, let's switch over here. This one I know is loaded up, so let's go ahead and finish it out. Blend it together, same kind of thing. Color's wonky from the natural light one, and then so we're just going to use the all ambient. And you know what? It's still kind of we're going to use the all flash one. And there you go. Let me check something here. Yeah. So let's turn this off, and then turn this off. We'll use this, and hopefully it will select this whole section over here. Yeah, it actually did a good job. I can't even believe it. Life's little blessings. Okay. So this is our blended version. Over here, you can see I just don't like the way this looks with the blended version. I would prefer the all ambient version of that section of that room. So we go like that. And color-wise, you know, there's just too much color in that section of the room. So what we're going to do is we're going to bleach it. So we're going to apply a black and white to this, and then go like this. We'll actually copy this layer so you have full strength, and then merge these up. So now the bleached version, you can see right here, this is the bleached version of just that section. So now if we blend it, make it 0, we can knock down some of that color just a bit by blending it just in. And it's only blending. This is only blending with this section down here of the colored version. It's not blending with any of the main blends. So this is our main blend of our shot, and then these 2 layers are just working that section of the adjacent room. So that's all done, and we'll go ahead and merge the whole set. Straighten her up a bit. No, yeah, okay. And then set it to 2. And again, here is our before version of the shot. And here is the after. This is before. And this is the after version of the same shot. So there you go. Let's go ahead and move that up to 4 stars. Let's check out the next one. This is the before version of the eat-in kitchen area. So that's before. And this is the natural light version that we're going to work with. Let's go ahead and maybe hit it with 4, 6. That's good, but of course this center section is hazy. The windows are too bright. But the ceiling, notice the ceiling is really good. See that ceiling? That ceiling, we can use that. We can definitely use that. All right, boom. Let's go ahead and grab this here, highlights down, and more highlights down here, and dehaze. Right, highlights down, and I don't know why it's warming it up. It just really wants to add 7 points of warmth all the time. I don't know why. So again, highlights down and dehaze, which tends to make things even more blue, and you can see that blue color cast coming in there. So we're going to fix that. Here is our flash version, complete with its problem of this overly bright section up here. It's probably not going to be too bad, actually. Let's take a look at the ambient. See, the ambient is actually subdued, so when they blend together, it's probably going to look perfect without having to address it individually. All right, boom, that's ready to go. We don't have any in the kitty in Photoshop already, so we're sending this one, and we will prep up the next set. Okay, 0 on that. So this is the before of the dining room. Again, same kind of issues, shadowy, dark, bright windows, not exactly what we want it to look like. Let's go ahead and look at our ambient version that we're going to work with. Still shadowy under the table, so we got to address that. And now the windows, since we increased our brightness, are even worse than before. But the ceiling's pretty good, with the exception of this section over here, which is suffering from haze. But let's go ahead and address the whole thing. So let's see what we get when we hit it with maybe like 4. Actually, that's probably going to be as good as it's going to get. And then we'll go down here and go to 0 on that, and shadows 21. That's pretty good. I think what I need to do is I just need to program this to 0 and 0. I don't know why it's got a mind of its own sometimes. Okay, yeah, that did it. All right, super. So let's go ahead and knock down highlights. Let's go ahead and increase the haze and knock down exposure just a bit like that. Over here, what we want to do with the other windows is we're going to, same kind of thing, highlights down. That's going to be it though. And then over here, this section, we're going to have to use dehaze, but it's looking like it's just the way the light's hitting the wall, it's going to suffer. So we're probably going to be glad, again, that we have our flash version. We need more. We need more exposure. So let's bring it up a lot. Light about there. Bring up the shadows under the table again. Shadows. Okay. And of course you can see there's a big reflection in this little guy right here, and then we have to address that. So yeah, those are going to be the challenges to work through. And we don't have a perfect ceiling, remember? There's no perfect ceiling in the ambient. It's over in this section. Why did you do that? Over in this section, it was a little bit fuzzy. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to go good, but it just might be a battle, that's all. Let's go ahead and blend this guy together. Boom, boom, boom. Right about there. It's probably ideal. I like more, so more ambient, yeah. I want more flash in these chairs, I think. I think I do. I want more in the chairs. So let's go ahead and get that. We'll make that happen. Like this. We'll add some more. We'll make the chairs more of the flash version by covering the ambient version in a black mask. So there we go. And just like I said, this up here, see how it blended? I like that. And it kind of looks like the sun's coming in from that window over there and just kind of hitting the ceiling. So that definitely works. I don't have to manually adjust that. Same thing with the ceiling over here. This looks good. I don't have to manually adjust that. That leaves this little problem area over here. So let's go ahead and see. Yeah, see with the ambient version, that is not there. So we can go ahead and grab that real quick, just like this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, super. Like that. Okay. So here is the flashy version, and here's with that added over there. Now there's no distracting element there. All right, merge them up, save them, and let's go ahead and move over here. Straighten it out a bit. This is a little unbalanced. It's a little bit heavy to the right, so let's move it like that. And I think that's perfect. Okay. So if we set this to 2, then we can go ahead and look at our before and after. So this is before, the before version, and this is the after version. Which would you rather have? The before, or would you just kind of settle for that, or would you rather have the after, this version of that same photo? Okay, I'm gonna just assume you know which one you want better. Alright, so next we're moving back over here to address this dining room. It's ready for merge, so let's send it over. And back here in Lightroom, we can see this was another one and done shot. I did want to communicate the idea of the fireplace, which had this nice grate on it. So it's a little bit off center, so that's probably going to be better. Yeah, I think so. Maybe even a little bit more. Maybe, if we chop that whole thing on the left out, that's not going to be right. So you'd end up having to leave that in. That's a compromise that has to be made. This is going to be your ideal. I think this is going to definitely be the ideal composition. And this one we're going to, let's see, 2. And I think we're going to increase dehaze even more. So grab the dehaze, but not too much. Otherwise you can cause more problems than you solve. So that's probably perfect there. Right about there. Yep. So we'll set that one to 5. Alright, and now we are going back over here to Photoshop. And we are going to merge these guys right here. So that's the ambient. Why do I got 2 copies of the ambient? Oh, because I made 2 copies of it. I'm like, what did I do there? I'm getting lost. Alright, so if we go like this. Color, again, wonky colors, clean colors. I don't know, that's not too bad. The other color, the other way. But no, I'm going like this. I mean, we're going to use that. So here we have more detail in the window. We're looking here. This is where I'm looking. So detail, more detail in just the flash shot. Here's what we have now. More from just the flash shot. And so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to try to bring some more of this in, like this. Good, that worked. And then we have the issue of the ceiling fan. Now, do I want to try to fight with this ceiling? I just don't think I do. It just does. I think I'm just going to try to manually correct. Let's see if we can do that. If we can manually correct, just this shadowy thing, this silly shadow up here, then that would bring us a long way to our goal. So let's see, it pretty much extends to there. So if we can go like this and smart clone it, it looks like it pretty much took care of it. And that just leaves this section here. I could probably just completely ignore it if I really wanted to. That is not going to be noticeable. But let's go ahead and just knock it out anyway. And just go ahead and go like this. Take care of it. And then the same kind of thing. We will grab some of this here. And nope, not that. Not that. It went too much. Too much. Alright, perfect. Yeah, that ended up being the best solution overall. So we'll go ahead and merge them. Save them. Alright. And auto. I think that this needs to be bent to the left. Just a hair, like this. Right, like that. Perfect. Okay, so let's check it out. I think we can chop this down just a bit too. And maybe cut out a little bit more of this carpet down here. I think that's going to be, yeah, that's the better composition. Okay, so if we look at our before and after, here's before. The before version of this photo, and then here's the after version. We have before and we have after. Before and after. So I think that we'll send those both there. And now we're going to start working on the second floor, the bedrooms. And I ended up shooting, let's see, this the spare bedrooms first. So this is the before version of the photo. Yes, it is. And this is our ambient version of the photo. Right. This is... So yeah, ambient version. Let's go ahead and address it. Obviously, we've got problems with these windows. Those are going to be the first thing that need to be addressed. So dehaze it, and you can see even with all these fancy super tech tools and raw files and everything that you have, you just you can't win against these windows with all natural light. If you don't use flash techniques to try to bring it back, you're just going to be in trouble. So let's go ahead. This is the flash version. And we have a bit of a shadowy space up here, so let's go ahead and bring that up. I think that's going to buff out pretty good overall. If we look here in the natural light version, you can see the ceiling's better. We're going to use that ceiling for sure, that natural light ceiling. And then this whole section pretty much in the middle here just needs more light. It's probably going to damage the windows a bit to bring it up, but it has to happen. So we'll have to knock the windows back down, right? Like so. Just bring exposure back down just in the windows. Same thing for the other window. And that's good. Okay, super. Next, let's go ahead and send it to Photoshop. These go to, let's see, number 10. Here's the before of the next bedroom, which was really cute. I really liked how it was set up. And then that's the before, so it goes to 2. And then this is our natural light version of the same image. And if we punch it up a bit, I think that's probably all we're going to be able to manage. We're going to do the same thing though. You can see the problem area is an oval, kind of like that right there. So if we punch in from the left, from left to right, we can just address that whole little oval section over there. And then we can also, if we bring it back in, we can address the windows as much as we can. I don't think there's going to be any hope for them. I think they're going to be pure white, but at least we can dehaze the area around it, get rid of the window bloom. But I think all of our windows are going to come from this flash frame for sure. So yep, flash 6, maybe 8. That'll do. Let's go over here, Photoshop, merge these guys up. Again, we'll be using color primarily from the flash frame. Or will we? We may not. Maybe I'll just use it normal mode. I think I might. Yeah, that's not actually that's not bad at all. Alright. But the windows need help. So let's go like that, bring them back. Same with this one over here. Go back and bring it back. And then our ceiling. I want this ceiling here. I don't like the blended ceiling as is, this one, because it still has a flash shadow. I want this ceiling. So ambient ceiling it is. Let's go ahead and make sure we lasso it all in. So that's good. Well, I thought it was. What is it up to? I'm telling you, sometimes these selections are just nutty. Okay, how are we doing over here? It doesn't have any of this side at all. So add that section in. Same thing here. Let's go ahead and add this guy in. It's just adding too much now. You know, we just might as well have just done the 4 corners. It would have been faster. It's always one of those things. It's like you hope the computer can do its part, what it's supposed to do, but then it just ends up not doing it for whatever reason. This always seems to be a problem. It's just a problem with selections for whatever reason. It started happening when I started using this this pen tool, this stylus thing, instead of using a mouse, so I didn't like the clicking. But you know, it's come with its own little problems, its own little host of problems. Where selections are concerned. For whatever reason, the mouse seemed to do selections better, and I end up being frustrated with the way the stylus does them. It just overlaps them and all this little problem. It's like this should have been like 10 seconds. But no. Okay, well at least we have it, except for this little bit here. Where would it go? This is included, not excluded. Okay, so there we go. The most difficult selection of my whole life. And this is supposed to be white, so let's bleach it because there's green color cast in there. And then let's go ahead and adjust that shadow profile a bit, like so. That looks better. Alright, so that's done. The only thing that I want to do extra we'll do over here, and that is this piece of wood here. The door jamb is a little bit bright and it's a little bit colorful, so we're going to go ahead and pull down saturation just a bit like that. And then finally we still have some dehaze issues that need to be addressed over here around the windows just a bit like so, and that's going to be good. Okay, now straighten up our vertical lines a bit, and this one is done. Took way longer than it should have. Way longer, but it is done. Okay, so again, here's our before of this photo. Here's the after. Here's the before with pretty much no detail in either the bedspread or the windows. And here is the after version of that same photo. Alright. And let's go ahead, switch back over to here. We will start sending these over for blending. We'll go ahead and set it to, let's see, 0. And here is the before version of this room right here. Here's the natural light version of it that we're going to use. And let's go ahead and knock these windows down a bit. And this got like a shadow thing going just in this corner, more than it should be. Right about there would be good. And then I don't think that we're going to be able to save, again, I don't think we're going to be able to save these windows. It was just so sunny. And it was raining like crazy same day, just a few hours before. So this one, I think we're going to probably end up using mostly this flash version of this photo. We could probably just use it by itself if it wasn't for that. So that is one of those problems. If you put a ceiling fan in every single room, we got to deal with that. All right, let's switch back over to here and blend up this one. That looks pretty good right there. Let's go ahead and bring our windows back a bit, like so, and like so. And then let's go ahead and, again, what do we got going on here? Can it guess today? Oh, it did. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so it figured it out. There's our ambient ceiling, which is definitely a little bit better. I do want to, on the left side, I think, yeah, just that left side up here, it's a little shadowy, but I don't want to up the whole thing. I don't want to up this side and boost this. I just want to boost this over here. So how are we going to do that? We're going to go ahead and make a copy of it like so. We have they're right now, you can see them, they're both identical. And then on the top version, what we'll do is we will boost the shadow profile. And we're just looking at the left side where I showed you, that left side. Because see what happened up here? It bleached out all of this over here too much. That's not what I wanted. So we'll go ahead and say OK. And then we'll take this mask and delete it. And we'll cover it completely with an all black mask. And that covers it up, and then we'll start bringing it back. We'll start bringing it back just in this corner, that brighter corner that we had. B is for brush, and there it is. So now that corner is a little bit more balanced. Okay, this looks just the way I want it to. Let's merge it, save it, and switch back over. Okay, auto. And right here, we'll go ahead and set this to 2. And we will check out the before version. Here's before. And here is the after. Our before version. And then we have our after version. Alright, before and after. So boom, boom, boom. Let's go back. This one's ready to go. Let's send it over. And let's go back over here. These are ready to be archived. Here's our before version of this bathroom. And this is our all natural light version, which is really plagued with color cast. I'm guessing, without even adjusting, you can see it up here. You can see the difference in these colors that's going on right here. It's really not acceptable. I can pretty much guarantee I'm not going to use any of the color from these ambient shots in here. So boost that up, and then let's dehaze this window as much as possible without getting it looking crazy. Highlights down. Okay, and then this whole section is a little bit dark, but that'll be okay in the end. It'll work out, because we're going to take this and we're going to boost it up like so. And we're going to need to knock this corner down because it's too bright. So highlights down, exposure down, and then the shower in the background is a little bit dark. So let's go ahead and bring our shadows in the shower up like so. This flash version by itself is actually really nice. I let me see. I do like the cabinets in this better a little bit. I like the cabinets a little better. I like the tone of the stone a little bit better. So yeah, we're gonna have to. I thought I might be able to get away with just using flash in that situation, but I think I'm still gonna have to do the extra step. Okay, same thing here. Let's switch to luminosity. Ignore the color of the ambient. Bring this up like so, right about there. Ceiling needs to be addressed, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go over here. It's doing a pretty good job, but I got a feeling it's on its last leg there. Alright, so that needs to be all white because there's funky colors in it. And that version of all white is a little bit darker than we want it to be. So that's perfect right there. Maybe a little bit too much, so bring it up 95, something like that, right around there. Okay. And that is going to be, let's give us some more window here. A little more window, a little more window, and then we're done. Okay. Hit auto to straighten, and let's set it to 2. Let's go ahead and this is the before, and this is the after. Before, and then after. Okay, on to the next. So here's our bathroom. We'll port it over to Photoshop. And go ahead and set it to 1. Here's our before version of the master bedroom. It's a little bit shadowy. And then this is the natural light shot that we're working with. So let's hit it with some adjustments, probably up by 10. And then, of course, our windows are going to give us problems. So highlights down, exposure even maybe down. They are pure white windows. There is no information, even in the raw file, hiding in the background of that section of this picture. Okay, then we have this little problem here. But you can see this, again, this oval thing going on here. Obviously this is here. But that needs to be there in the final frame or it won't look real. So we're going to have to leave some of that in there, that shadow from the bed. So let's do this though. Let's grab this tool and go like that and adjust the highlights just on the edge of the frame like so. That'll work. Zoom back in. Let's look at our flash version of the same frame. It's probably going to need an 8. Probably right around there. That's probably right perfect. Okay. Yep, so these are ready. Let's jam over here to Photoshop. As always, we are going to, on this particular day anyway, forget the color of the ambient photo. And this is pretty much, I don't know. I want more of that color. It's actually lighter like that. So let's do this. I think what was happening is the color of the wall was being put by the flash into the cabinets. So we're going to take this and make another copy. The all ambient, and then this CAB for cabinets. And we'll go like this, and we're going to select them, just the cabinets, like so. So cabinets, cabinets, cabinets. And this section of the cabinets, too. Just like so. And not the stone. Not the stone. And then what we'll do is we're going to start blending this in like so. Okay, see, that's a little better, but a little bit too much. So right about there, is good. Okay, we're done with this one. We'll straighten her up a bit and send her over to before and after. Here is the before of this shot, and here's the after. Before and after. Okay, so let's go over here. These are ready to go. Send them on over. And these are going to go here. All of these basement shots are one and done, so let's go ahead and pretty much all of these shots over here. I'm going to set those to 3. This is the next one I really wanted to work on. So this is the before. Same bedroom, just from the other angle, communicating the idea of this. This is really what I want to put in sight to tie the two rooms together. That's the master bathroom. And so I want a shot where the idea of these connect together. So let's boost up the exposure here. That's going to be fine. Here's the flash version of the same photo. Maybe pump it up by 8. That's fine. And you can tell the ceiling sucks, but that's fine too, because we're not going to use the ceiling from the flash frame. So let's go over here, and those are ready to go out. So we will blend this one right now. Switch to luminosity, cut this down like so, and that's perfect. Now notice, we still do have this natural shadow here. It's just not so intense as it is in, say, the natural light only. So it's still there, it's just not so prominent, which is really what we would prefer. Now of course we have to tackle the problem of the ceiling, because we have ceiling cast, we got ceiling shadows. Hopefully it's going to be smart and catch the line of the ceiling. It did. Thank you, Lord. And let's go ahead and there you go, mask that in. And yeah, that looks good. That looks good, just like that. Let's go ahead and merge them up. Save them. And then let's see, if we send this over to the before and after zone, we can see that this is the before version and this is the after version. This is before and this is after. Okay. So let's move right along, send these out for merging, and then here's our next one. Now this is the before version of this one, and this is the natural light version of this one. Then we have the flash version of it, and we have this flash repair frame too, because you can kind of see, watch, this is clean in the repair frame, but in the main version of this, it's not clean. It's glary. So we had to get rid of that. That's what that is for. So let's go ahead and C2. Yeah, right about there. This one, though, is going to need extra work. What we're going to need to do is, we can't just use a gradient. You might think, oh, use a gradient from left to right and just brighten this side up, right? And we can go like that. Maybe that'll work. But I don't like how it's so intense on this side right here in order to get it nice in the middle. Remember, it's a gradient. It's more intense here, less intense over here. So what I prefer to do, let's go ahead and get rid of this gradient here. And we'll just click on it and delete it. What we're going to do actually is we'll right click, create a virtual copy, and we're going to boost up this copy just for the left side. Right? We're going to increase the exposure overall like so until this whole shower area is how we want it. Now this is, of course, over here is way too bright. Way too bright. But we're not going to use that. Instead, we're going to use this. We're going to use that section from here, from the natural light version. So these are all ready to go, though, for sure. Let's jump over here and finish up on this one. Bam, bam, bam. And start blending them like so. Right about there. Let's go ahead and copy this and turn this on, and there's a little bit of glare in the glass of this right here that we can get rid of. So that worked out just fine. And then we have, this is what is this? C for ceiling, of course. We're going to use this ceiling right here. I think it's going to have, yeah, I can already tell it's not going to do a very good job of selecting the ceiling in this particular lighting situation. So let's go over here like this. We got to do it manually. Like so. Zoom out. Zoom in. And then just get this whole thing selected. Like this. This is the tedious part. Anytime you got to select anything in Photoshop, that's where cloning and selecting is where all the time gets sucked up. Okay, so there. That's our better ceiling. Blended ceiling, better ceiling. Blended ceiling, better ceiling. Super. That leaves us with one last thing. You may already know what it is. This annoying cord. That annoying cord has to go. I do not like it. So let's go ahead and select it. Get rid of it. Like so, like so, like so, like so. Alright. That's mostly gone. There. Perfect. Okay, got rid of that. That's not distracting us anymore. Jump over to here. Let's go ahead and do straighten. Let's go ahead and check out our before and after. Okay, so there's the before. Here's the after. Here's the before. And then here is the after. Super. Let's grab all of these. We got 4 versions of them. Going over to Photoshop to build out this particular frame. And we will... This is our last one that we're going to work on together today, guys. So this is the before version for the bathroom, showing the soak tub. And then this is our natural light version, which is a little bit color casty with blue on the tub and then everything else everywhere else. And then this has our good color. Our flash version has some better color. We don't need to boost. That's probably perfect right there. And then actually, I'm just gonna use this one. There's no window. Um, I don't think I'm gonna get anything more out of the blending it with the ambient version. So I think I'm just gonna use this one just here. This looks just fine. So let's do this though first. Let's go ahead and jump over here. So where the ambient's concerned, this is again, this frame right here that you see is the right side, right? We're going to use that for the right side of the ambient. Then the other one we're going to use for the left side. Right side, left side. Right side, left side. So get rid of that, and we can even go like this. L is for lasso tool. Go just like that. There. And then we mask it. Boom. See how that works? Right side, left side, right side, left side. Okay. We can merge those together, and that's now our new ambient frame, which we can copy like normal, and then we're going to turn that off. We have to repair the flash frame, remember. So this section up here has to be repaired because there's a big flash shadow right there. Okay, so that's good. Now we can blend it with the ambient effectively like so.